Hello everyone. Today we're going to do a banded workout. So what I have here already set up in the door is obviously a band, and what I used is a little door holder, and there's going to be an opening here. Right? You fit the band through it. Once the band is through, you put the band through itself. Pull it tight, and it's going to get nice and snug on here and hold its position. Okay? So the yellow one is already ready to go. Now the first exercise I'm going to do with that is a pull down. Now of course I have tile here on the floor, so I'm actually going to move a towel into position so I can put my knees on there just to be more comfortable. All right? I'm going to bend down here, get in position. Now I have this, right? Pull down. I'm pulling something from high to low. Sounds pretty easy to do, but it might not be. Now I have one band. This band is actually not very strong, so I might have to wrap it a few times, right? Give it some more tension, and then I can pull down one side at a time, right? I'm trying to get my elbow down towards my torso, my rib cage, my hand towards my chin level, like basically doing a pull-up. Right? Now I can do one hand, and of course I switch hands because that's unilateral once again, but I can also grab both sides at the same time and pull down here and make a big W out of my back. All right? Pull elbows down, squeeze my back. Now, at the moment, I'm probably about a good 15 inches away from the wall. So what I can also do is change my angle. Change my angle, I just scoot closer, right? And then pull a little wider. Okay? I can also pull behind myself if I like. Now for me, that usually bothers my shoulder a little bit more, and for the most part, a little bit more dangerous. So I'd stay in front of myself unless you're quite flexible to do so. All right. Now we're going to move to a separate back exercise. I'm going to slide that out, put it in a different part of the door, about navel height or so. Close that door. Now what I can do here again, because of the band strength, is I can do a one-handed row, right? Where I have a good base, knees are slightly bent, hips are slightly back. I'm just going to pull one arm at a time. All right, thinking elbows back. I can always throw a little rotation in there. It's a little more advanced. You can actually rotate the opposite way too. We'll get that one in another video. What I can also do again, of course, is the double hand. I can grab it any way I feel appropriate, pulling back both elbows at the same time. Okay? Now we're going to move into a kickback. A banded kickback I like a lot better than the dumbbell kickback. But remember, a band gets much more difficult as it gets stretched. Right? So when I'm getting to the end of this exercise over here, it's also going to feel as if it's much heavier to do. And that's all right. So I'm going to take the band on the outside of the band, grip it, wrap it around my hand, in this case a couple times. Now what you don't want to do is grab the outside of the band and then wrap it around while it's already tight and it's squeezing your skin. That's just pointless. It's just nice, and now it's just bothering me the whole time I do this. So do it while it's just taut, slightly loose. Then grab it nice and tight, and then it's not going to squish your hand as much. All right, again, I'm going to split stance, just like any other kickback. I'm going to lean forward, get my humerus parallel to the ground. Now this time I can come all the way forward because I'm not getting a pendulum effect. There's already tension here in my tricep. Okay, so now I straighten out my arm, then back. So I have a greater range of motion doing a banded kickback than I did previously. Now I can come up higher, but still I have my arm or humerus parallel to the ground. That's going to change the strength curve. All right, we'll get into that in another video, but you'll feel a difference. Okay. Now I can also do an abdominal exercise here with doing a torso rotation. So I can do Russian twists on the floor as we have done previously. You can use a weight for that as well. I can get a band. I can grab this band just right through the middle part of this loop, okay? And I can turn away from it and then turn towards it. Now, you might need a little more space than I have here currently to get a little more tension on that, right? Or maybe I figure another way to wrap it up and pull apart. Pull it apart. Using my core, right? Try not to use my legs. Use my torso. All right, from here, we're going to move back to the mat. And first exercise we're going to do is a chest exercise. And it's going to be a banded push-up. So in another video, we had talked about doing the chest squeeze, which is usually a finisher for me. After you do a chest day, you get a good chest squeeze by pushing these together, get a good contraction. But we're gonna do a push-up in this case. Push-up is good, but my hands are moving in and out. That means they can only get so much adduction at the shoulder joint with my arms being stuck in place. So, but once I come down here, you see that I just threw it over my back. All right, I put my hands down in my push-up position, get my torso erect in basically a plank stance. I'm gonna bend my elbows, come down, come back up. Now it's a good strength curve, meaning the band is making it more difficult as I come up, which of course is normally where the easier part of the exercise is. So that's a good thing. That's a good strength curve by using that band. So getting a banded push-up is a nice way to increase your push-up strength. And of course, working our chest, anterior deltoid, and triceps. Okay? Now we gotta do banded curls. Can't forget that. So, if I get a banded curl, I just make it into a big rectangular square. Okay, I'm gonna step on it. In this case, I'm gonna take my thumb through the box, maybe even a trapezoid, I guess. So I'm gonna get my thumb through the box, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curl my hand underneath. So now I have both parts of that band, right? Thumb through the box, supinate, then stand up tall. Now as I curl, I'm gonna curl up, and I can also put my thumbs out again, get a little supination again, right? So banded curls usually are better as a finisher or better just to crank them out. So actually, just yesterday, that's what I did. So finish with it and just pump them out, get a huge pump in those biceps, squeezing them, just crank them out, okay? So that's a good one for our bicep. We can always do a squat. Now a banded squat also has a pretty good strength curve because as you come up in a squat, the exercise is getting easier, but the band is getting more difficult because it's getting more stretched out. So that kind of helps the exercise kind of stay even throughout the range of motion. Now if I have a band like so, I could again step on it, whatever width I deem appropriate for my squat. Okay, I can grab it. I can even put it behind my head, over my neck, which is just fine. But if something like this doesn't feel comfortable, right, or it's a very strong band, it definitely won't be comfortable, I can always just hold it. I can do like a front squat position where I have the band and I just pull it up in front of me. Kick my elbows out, right, hold it here, and then I can squat down where I feel good. Right? Now I usually have a raised heel with some Adidas Powerlift shoes. So what I usually do is I usually have, like I said, a raised heel. So if I come to the side of the mat, that actually raises my heel for me, which helps my ankle mobility or lack thereof. Then I can get into my front squat position. Then I can sit a lot deeper without having my torso flex. Okay? So I can have a better squat, more appropriate for me. Okay, there's some other ways to do this with a heavier band or double bands on each side. It's going to be a little bit tougher, right? As we come down and we come up, and we can even get a press, what's called a thruster. That's a CrossFit exercise. We'll get there one day as well. And I guess I should show a lateral raise. So for me, if I'm doing a lateral raise, right, I'm coming out here just like we would with a dumbbell, but again, the band is harder at the top. Now, in this case, a dumbbell is also harder at the top, right? Because it's furthest from the lever arm is the longest, and it's furthest from the pivot point, right? But the band is actually harder in this case, not only because it's furthest from the pivot point, but because it's getting stretched, okay? So I can come up, I can practice some different things to see where I feel best in my medial deltoid, right? So again, I made a box, in this case a square. I put my thumb through. This time I just grabbed it, okay? Just grabbed it nice and tight. I get my lateral raise. This one was a bit out of order because we were trying to get it taped properly. So hope you guys were all able to follow along. See you next time.